Hello everybody, Grumpy Vegan Grandad here. How is everybody? Who's on? Who's on? Can everybody hear me okay? Can everybody see me okay? Can anybody see me at all? That is the question. Loud and clear. Thank you, I'm Easy Vegan. So who have we got on? We've got Journey with Ben and Darren. I'm Easy Vegan, of course. Michael Askew. Hello, Michael. UK Vegan Family. Hello, Daniela. Hello, Adam. Ekaterina Marinova. Hello, Katia. And that's it for the memento. So, oh, the Vegan Mooncat, how are you? So I know everybody was expecting two ladies from California today, but unfortunately one of the twins had an appointment that she didn't realize and they had to call it. They wanted to do this together as they were a team unit on their Instagram. So we're going to reschedule that for another day. Shit happens, I suppose. Shit happens. But every cloud and all that. So if you've noticed, down below there, we've got Instagram, the Flower Girls, with a little dash at the end of it. Don't forget to put the dash. And www.theflowergirls.uk. Now, don't rush over to follow them or email them yet or anything like that, because I haven't tried the brownies yet, but I am about to, because they sent me some. I nearly give my address away then. Best brownies ever. So I have got here Oreo, Biscoff, and marshmallow brownies. And I'm going to try one now. Let us try the let us try the Biscoff one. No, the Oreo one. Let's try the Oreo one. Look at those beauties. Can you see that? Can you tell what it? Oh no, let's not do Rolf Harris. Don't those look delicious? I've had way too much sugar today. Way too much sugar. Oh. Right. What a brownie is supposed to be like? Crunchy on the outside, soft and squidgy on the inside. I don't know why I did that accent, but it suits it well. But these. Oh, shit. I'll tell you something. Them are absolutely spot on. It's not a mukbang, but those are, excuse me 1 minute. Oh my god. I'll tell you something. Yeah, Biscoff, them are delicious. And guess what, people? They ship all over the UK. But I want to show you something, because not only does this talented lady do, I'm eating all the crumbs off the table and everything. God, I'm so scruffy. Not only does she do brownies that she posts out, if you're local in the area, she also does cakes, and she does epic cakes. Just have a look at this. So I'm sure I saw those on Bake Off last night. I'm sure I did. Bagels, the rainbow bagels. Oh my god, is that a cake? Oh, it's a Christmas centerpiece. Ah, right, okay. Christmas. Don't get me started on Christmas. Oh, look at them. I love skulls. I love skulls. Let's scroll down a bit. Let's have a look at these epic. Oh, my word. That looks just absolutely delish. Oh, little Xbox remote there. Nice one. There's some that I've seen down here just like, oh, look at that. Smashed avocado on toast one. Wow. Let's go down. I've seen, what the hell is that? Fortnite. Yes, like it. That must be the lady herself. She looks like she's spaced out on sugar there. And these are all vegan, guys. These are all vegan. She's a vegan cake maker. What the hell is that? The cake has got teeth. The cake can bite back. My God. Oh, I'm liking these. These are all vegan. All the brownies are vegan. That's a Harry Potter thing, isn't it? That's one of the talking hat in Harry Potter. Oh, yes. Like it. Like it. There's one I've seen. There it is. Look at this beauty. Look at that with all the guts coming out of it. Big knife stuck in it. Love it. Love it. Really talented. Really, really talented. So go over to that site and have a look. Super, super talented. So the Flower Girls underneath and the Flower Girls .uk. That is to order the brownies, or you can PM her. You can PM her on the Instagram. Let's have a look. Who's on there? Vegan Pixie Warrior, Vegan King, Tone. Hi all. Hi everybody. Right. I'll say again, if you was expecting the Vegan Health Twins, unfortunately, one of them has had to call off at the moment due to a prior engagement that they forgot about. But we are going to reconvene at a later date. Oh, who have we got here? Who's this? Hello there.
Hi.
Hi. And who are you?
It's the person you call Journey with Ben and Jerry.
Ah, how are you?
Good.
Good. And what have you come on to say to me? How handsome I am?
No, just to introduce myself, because I didn't really introduce myself to the vegan family, so I thought I'd introduce
Okay.
you.
So, can I ask Ben, are you vegan?
No.
You're not?
No.
Are you vegetarian?
No.
Why are you on here? So, are you thinking about going vegan?
No vegan teacher, no.
I'm not a vegan teacher. So you're not even thinking about going vegan?
No.
Why?
I tried a vegan sub once, and that was fine, but I'm not going to go vegan. I prefer my meat.
You like meat?
The dip.
You like the what?
I like the dip.
You like the taste?
Yeah, of the meat, yeah.
But aren't you aware that you've got to kill a beautiful sentient animal for that meat taste?
Yeah, I know.
Does that not bother you?
No.
Are you a psychopath?
No.
Well, psychopaths have got no empathy. Psychopaths don't care about the victims. And you just said that you don't care that an animal's killed for your taste. That makes you a psychopath? Does it not?
Not really, no.
You don't think so?
No.
So you don't care about animals being killed for your taste pleasure?
Some of the time I think it's not nice because they deserve to live, but I don't really know.
Is it something you'll think about doing?
Well, I told my mum the other day, and she went, "No, I'm not cooking any vegan food for you. You'll have to cook it yourself."
Really? And can you cook?
No, I can't even cook anything. I can only do microwave meals.
Well, there's plenty of vegan microwave meals out there. There's loads. There's absolutely shitloads of vegan microwave meals. Do you like baked beans? Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Ben's gone. Why did he go? Oh, my God. Psychopath. He was a fucking psychopath. Oh my God, why did he go? I wasn't saying anything horrible to him, was I? Was I being horrible then? I was trying to... Vegan King, it's not hilarious. I wanted him to go vegan. It's not hilarious. No, I don't care about animals. I don't give a fuck about animals. So are you a psycho then? No, I'm not a psycho. Oh my God. Hello, Angarad's Life. Hello, Vegan Pixie Warrior. Hello, Pies Irrational. Hello, Vegan King. Hello, Cooking with Venom. Hello, David Ryan. Hello, everybody. Well, that was my first fail at... Well, it's not my first fail at turning someone vegan, but... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Where's Darren? Where's his mate, Darren? I could have had a go with Darren. Oh, dear. Oh, Ben's back. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, hang on a minute. Right, hang on. Right. Where did you go, Ben?
I was going to tell my partner you want me to become vegan.
And is your partner vegan? Hard question.
Say that again, because I had you down.
Is your partner vegan?
No.
Right. Okay. So none of you. So can I ask a question? Why have you sort of gravitated towards a vegan channel?
Mostly because I just wanted more subscribers and just to see what other YouTubers were doing.
Ah, right. So you're here to steal my subs, are you?
Not really, no. Just wanted to... I found the vegan family on
Are you
Facebook
sure? Are you sure? So what is your channel about? Tell me about your channel.
How would I describe it? Mostly LGBT based.
Is it a horror channel?
Not really, mostly LGBT based on LGBT because we're both LGBT, both of us.
Right. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Because wasn't the LGBTQ community oppressed quite a while ago before gay rights came into being?
Yeah, back in the 60s, yeah.
And 70s.
Yeah, 60s and 70s, yeah.
Yeah. So you represent an oppressed people who've been treated badly in the past through prejudice, yeah?
Yeah.
So why can't you extend that to animals? Why do you oppress animals and treat them badly?
Don't really know. It's an hard one, that.
Is it because you've been conditioned to think like that? Because I ate loads of meat for like 50 years of my life. But once I realized that we were oppressing, enslaving, hurting, raping, killing, murdering animals, I stopped. I don't find
it weird that people go vegan because it's our choice. That's what I mean. But I've got nothing against them. Don't get me wrong. I think it's absolutely fine because if you think about it, would you class it a hobby, or is it not way? Like,
class it as what?
As a hobby, or wouldn't you? Or more?
Veganism is a hobby.
Well, I thought it would be.
What? Like I just do veganism at the weekends?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, it depends. Like, but I don't really know because I don't really know much about it. I've heard about it.
Yeah. Just do veganism at weekends, and then I like to do rape and murder Monday to Friday. It's just something I do. Yeah, I just love it. So,
And is it true what the vegan family told on the live you were in Jurassic World?
I was a truck driver in Jurassic. So you've been talking to people about me as well behind my back?
Well, they were talking to me when I joined the
Were they?
live, if you remember.
Yeah, I was on Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. I was in one of the trucks. You won't see me. You might see me elbow, but you're still distracting. You're still distracting me from the point, and you're not going to distract me from talking to you about veganism, because this is a vegan channel, so you're not getting away with it that easy by, let's just talk about Jurassic World. Let's just do this. So can I ask you, why do you still drink milk? How old are you now, Ben? Do you need your fingers? I'm not letting him on again. Yes, Vega. Yes, Pixie. I was going to show him footage, but it's a bit too late now. It's like, oh my dear. Yeah, let's see if I can find Dominion. 1 second. Let's get YouTube up in Dominion. Dominion, yes. Right. I understand and wish to proceed. There we go. Right, okay. Right, so Dominion is primed and ready for if he comes back. Who on earth is Ben? We don't know. Who is Ben? Who is Ben? He represents the LGBT community, but he doesn't seem to I've seen the channel, mate. You don't want to see the channel. It's not one of the best I've seen. But anyway, okay, so what a couple of days we have had. Michelle Law's stream the other day. Let's have a look. Share screen. Michelle Law's stream the other day. We had her reaction to a video that You Did It Wrong did about her a while back. And he's back. Ben's back. Oh, right. And Tommy Kelly came on. Tommy Kelly giving it the large, as large as he can give it, and then followed by Tristan. He's back up, and it was like, whoa, and there was all eruptions going on. It was wild, absolutely wild. And yeah, I'm getting a bit tossed off with Tommy Kelly, to be honest with you. He's just like, he's all that. He's all, give me the attention. Yo, Ben, you keep disappearing on me, brother. Why? Why do you keep disappearing on me? What the fuck? Right, he can get fucked now. He's not bad. I'm getting trolled by fucking Ben now. I'm getting trolled by Ben. What the hell? Yeah, totally tossed off, mate. Totally tossed off. So yeah, Michelle Law's stream yesterday was just like, oh man, it was nightmarish, absolutely nightmarish. Now listen, guys, as this is a sort of making up for a no-show, I'm putting the link in the chat. If anybody wants to come on and chat with me, hit the link, feel free. Also, I want to talk about Vegan Gains. Vegan Gains' reaction to Joey. And, oh, who's this? Reaction. Oh, we caught you then. We caught you.
Hello, mate.
Have you got a delay on there?
Is it right now, is it?
Have you yeah, it's sweet now, mate. Yeah, Vegan Gains video yesterday. Vegan Pixie Warrior says VG is a prick. Okay. I don't personally think that way, but what happened on let me just share the screen a minute, Aaron. Let me just share this.
Today is going to be the third call. Joey comes back to us. No, And Joey Carbstrong is at least partly responsible for this. He played a big role in all of this happening. And Joey, I have to ask, why would you get involved in this whole situation in the first place? For those of you who don't know, Joey actually receives funding from the same donor, and it's quite clear that he was pressured by this donor to get involved in this whole situation. But Joey, when someone asks you to...
Yeah, so he's basically saying that Joey sort of dropped AV into it and it was all Joey's fault. But, oh, hang on a minute. Yo, Ben. Yo. Right, Ben, speak to me. Right, okay. Right. Banned from studio. Oh, man. Kick from studio. Kick, yes. Right. He's being a prick now, so... Bye, Ben.
Bye, Ben.
Oh, my God. So yeah, Vegan Gains, he does what he does best. What's your view on Vegan Gains' take on all this, Aaron?
Yeah, so I saw his video this morning, and things with Vegan Gains, which I think people who don't watch him often, is he's very honest. You know, he's got balls. Like, he doesn't care what people think about his opinion. He's just honest in his own opinion, and he's not afraid to upset people. But yeah, I mean, the whole AV thing, mate. I mean, I've told you before, like, it bores me. The whole thing is just irrelevant in my eyes. They should have kept it quiet from the start.
Yeah,
they didn't need to make it public. You're bringing so much attention in the vegan, like the animal rights, away from animals. But yeah, Vegan Gains' take on it. I think he needs to maybe not just hear AV's video. I mean, all Joey did was that statement. So, you know, Joey, if he is going to be doing a response video, then maybe Vegan Gains can do a response to that. But yeah, I think he might have jumped the gun. Maybe everyone's entitled to their opinion. Yeah. My overall view on the whole thing, mate, is AV shouldn't have. They didn't need to bring anything public. And I had a thought earlier, actually. I think the only reason why they did is because I reckon they were worried that Joey might have come out first, so they wanted to get in there, get their side of the story first, to make them maybe look the better ones. Maybe, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, Cooking with Venom's has to join. Yeah, join anytime you want. Cooking with Venom, it's a free for all. Yeah, I mean, I did speak to Joey today, and we had a long phone call about it all. And he's not a happy bunny about it. But this is the thing about Vegan Gains. I can't, even though Joey's a personal friend of mine, I can't not Vegan Gains because Joey left so many holes in that script he did with that reply he did, that written reply. And the trouble is with written replies is you don't get the emotion and you don't get anything apart from the flat text. Yeah. And what Vegan Gains does is he's a very logical mind. So he takes this from Joey, this from AV, puts them together and makes a conclusion out of it. But he's also very good at poking and getting reactions so that people come together. Yeah, he's very good at it. And I admire him for it because he knows how to press people's buttons and get people talking. And that's what all this is all about, dialogue. He tried to bring them together. But I don't think Joey wants to go on with Paul. I think that they've burnt the bridges between them now over all this. But I agree with you. It's like, it's a drama that doesn't need to be there. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't take me long to just get bored of the whole thing, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of people who said, oh, you know, why are people doing responses? And this is why is Vegan Gains done responses? Like, well, he's not the only one who's done a response. So he's well entitled to do that. He's well entitled to say his opinion. Whether you agree with it, I mean, I don't agree with everything Vegan Gains says. I'm sure he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
But I do support his channel. I think he's brilliant because he's not afraid to upset people, and he is entertaining. I think he's quite funny. But I'm a massive supporter of Joey as well. And my view on the whole AV thing, I don't really care. I care about the animals, and I think the whole thing is just taking it away from the animals.
Yeah.
Under wraps.
Right, we'll just add in, I've got that vegan teacher waiting in the wings, but I'm just going to add cooking with venom. Hello there.
Sorry, I couldn't get the, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I thought you were anonymous anyway, so...
I kind of am. I don't really want people to see my face in case I do something incredibly controversial.
Listen, I'm quite cool with that. I'm a fast runner. That's the only reason I show my face, and I've got a big gun. No, I haven't got a big gun. So what do you want to talk about, cooking with venom?
I have no idea. I just, figured I'd pop on stream and say hi.
Have you seen? Well, it's nice to meet you. I like your channel. If anybody has not seen Cooking with Venom, jump on the channel. It's a bit different. It's a bit out there. It's really cool. So, excuse me, I'm still getting brownies getting stuck in my throat. Please go over to the channel and have a nosy at that. Have you seen this Vegan Gains video?
I actually just saw it like, I don't know, half an hour ago. I got through most of it. I didn't quite hear his outro and whatnot, so I don't know if I missed anything, but it's very strange. And I don't mind the idea of him, like talking about this kind of, stuff, because I'm trying not to swear really hard. I know I swear way too much. But yeah, I think that it's a good thing to talk about these things, even if it does bring like a little controversy to, Anonymous to the Voiceless, even Joey Carbstrong. It's a good thing to make sure that, because defunding an entire organization actually is way more harmful, or potentially defunding it. I don't know if they're, going to be fully defunded by this guy, if he's coming back, whatever. I think it's a lot better to talk about this kind of thing and cancel somebody.
I mean, I do know from the inside that they did have plenty of time to sort this out. There was no need for them to get defunded. And for everybody out there, Joey is going to do a reaction video. He has, and this is going to be his last reaction video. He has told me that he's going to do it. He's going to think carefully about it. And the last thing he wants to do is perpetuate this drama, because this drama is doing fuck all for the movement. And all it's doing is creating bitchiness and backbiting between people, and it shouldn't be happening. The focus should be on the animals. We're in the midst of a mass pandemic that is caused by animal agriculture in the first place, and we need to be jumping on this fact to get people to look at it our way, instead of fighting between us all. And it just seems to be drama after drama after drama.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I kind of think we're like kind of off the mark these days with the vegan community, the vegan movement. There's always some kind of drama going around. I think it's what keeps things kind of fresh, and it's fine to have some drama, but it's always good to kind of bring it back to the animals, because then all the people that are jumping on for the drama are going to definitely kind of be like, oh, and this is happening. This is why this whole movement exists, And like, we can argue, like, we'll have debates and whatnot with everyone, even other vegans all the time about, globalism. We'll have arguments about the environment. We'll have arguments about health. But the number one thing that a lot of people are going to struggle with arguing about is definitely animal rights, animal abolition, ethics, the actual things that go on in slaughterhouses, even in small farms. So those are the things we have to really kind of drive home. I think we're kind of getting lost in a lot of the other stuff. Yeah,
totally agree. I mean, me and Aaron have talked about it, haven't we, mate? Hello to that vegan teacher, by the way. You're on the stream. I don't know whether you're aware.
I was just going to say, I think like this whole thing as well, where AV have made it public. I mean, what are the anti-vegans saying about this? Do you know what I mean? They're probably just laughing. Do you know what I mean? And it's just ridiculous. They must be looking at the vegan community now. I mean, AV are very big, aren't they? And they must be like, oh, look at the state of the vegan movement at the moment with all this going on. It's just, it's not good, is it?
I mean, AV are now defunded by this donor. And as far as I can see, there's no going back, which is a shame. And that vegan teacher, you were on the stream. I was just waiting for you to say, but if you want to try and jump on again, please try. But yeah, it's like it's just craziness. It's just if somebody was giving me money to do my job, and I had other people relying on me to do my job, and that person said, can you just show me what you're doing with the money, because I may be able to give you more, or just drop a little bit because I've got to earn money as well. I'd be like, yeah, here, look, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. I've got this put away for a rainy day. I've got this here. I've got that. I'm spending it on this. Why would you not do it? That's what I don't get. I don't understand.
The thing I don't get actually is like, why on earth are you having? I get that Joey Carbstrong is a big part of Anonymous for the Voiceless, but there's no logic in you having like a mouthpiece between parties. That's a terrible idea. You should have direct contact with whatever donor you're like talking to. If you're like the head of a company and you're about to lose your biggest source of funding, you need to be right on it. You need to actually be communicating and explain the full situation, explain the scope of things, even all your controversies. There's no logic to me in having Joey Carbstrong talk about it to, whatever donor is, thinking of pulling back funding versus actually having, the main heads of, I don't even know who they are, the main heads of Anonymous for the Voiceless talking to them,
It's Paul Bashir and Nassau.
Yeah, so they should be going head to head with, not like in an aggressive way, but, they should be definitely talking face to face with these donors, whoever's paying the money.
Yeah.
It's going into their pockets for their company. And I'm not saying that they're, taking extra money off the top. I don't know, and I don't really care. That's, that's a part of like nonprofits a lot of the time, or, organizations. They have to pay off their employees. They have to do all kinds of stuff. And there are extra expenses. That happens. I don't think they're really doing anything scummy. I don't think they're trying to, steal money or anything like that. I think there's just exceptional miscommunication.
Definitely. Journey with Ben and Darren, why block me? I block you because you keep coming on, jumping off, and you're acting like a big kid on my stream. That's why I block you. Don't come on and start waving your camera about and everything. You come on and talk to me. Don't keep jumping off and coming back on. So just do one. Right. So, psychopath. So, yeah, well, what can you say, Aaron? You know what I mean? It's like, if you're going to come on, talk, don't start having a bit of fun and like, oh, no, I just don't get it. I don't get it.
It's a hobby, man.
Yeah, veganism a hobby. Can you believe that? It's a hobby. Yeah, just go into my shed. Just go into my shed at weekends and do my streams. And
I mean, I think that's like, freeganism or whatever, right? Where you can just kind of like go in and out. It's not even real.
Yeah. I mean,
it's really nothing. It's like everyone's got their own little dietary pattern. Veganism's, kind of like, a little up above that a little bit. Not trying to say it's a superiority complex, but it's a little bit more like you have to devote the full week, to the endeavor.
I think it highlights the fact that there's a lot of people out there like Ben that just haven't got a clue what veganism is. They're that disconnected. They have no idea. What we do to animals. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, it's easy to, disassociate, though. We don't want to think about it. Like, even vegans don't want to think about it. I try not to. I mean, it's good to kind of be very acknowledging of it. But no, I don't know anyone who wants to watch a cow get slaughtered. I don't really know anyone who's super into it. Even vegans who watch it frequently, watch the footage and whatnot. I don't see anyone really into it. They're more like, let's focus on the good things. And a lot of people like positive outlooks on specific things like that because it's easier to get into something, easier to say, oh, I can get healthier. I can lose weight. I can, become fitter. I can, help the environment. I can help animals. I don't want to look at the bad things about it because then less people will want to do it.
Yeah, it's just 1 second. Right, listen, right, they cancelled on me, right? It wasn't false advertising. I didn't just pluck some two blonde girls from California out of the ether and put them on and chat to entice. It wasn't clickbait. Fuck off. What's up with you all? You're all Bens. You're all Bens today, a lot of you. But cooking, they're saying I'm false advertising, Aaron, and it's wrong. It's not fair, is it? It's like, what, you pick on Grumpy Day today or something like that? What's going on?
I said you should have changed the title.
Oh, don't you start as well? I didn't have time. Some of us work for a living, right? Some of us work for a living, like long hours, and then they come home and start doing. They have to go to the shed, the weekend vegan shed, and like do some vegan hobbying, have some vegan V's and stuff like that. But
I've seen that a lot with vegetarianism. That's like a huge thing. Is a lot of people who are going vegetarian, particularly. There's like this nice little crossroads, right? Where you're kind of converting into veganism, but when you're in that vegetarian state where you're kind of like in the middle, it's so easy to jump back and forth. You don't even really care. From what I've seen, I mean, I've got a lot of vegetarian friends, and a lot of them just kind of are like, I'll have a burger today, whatever. vegan friends. I mean, I don't have a ton over here. Surprisingly, Vancouver, vegan galore, but like apparently not. Super easy to, have people going like, okay, I'm vegan, I'm going to stay vegan.
You see, but an interesting thing is what I've heard. I mean, when I was on Veganville, we had a girl on called Jodie who was a vegan manufacturer. She's actually been a vegan manufacturing company for over 10 years. I think it might have been longer than that, actually. And she said that the vegan food movement at the moment is being pushed, being rolled by flexitarians. It's the flexitarian market who are actually influencing the vegan food movement. And I find that a really interesting concept.
Well, I mean, vegans are still like a really small group, and I don't really know a ton of vegan companies. I don't know, ethically vegan companies. A lot of the plant-based movement, a lot of, everything that's going on right now, it's predominantly out of the hands of vegans, and it's, it's good that it's a moneymaker. I know like some people are kind of anti-capitalist about this kind of stuff, but it's really good to be pushing veganism through capitalism right now. It's really useful. You go, oh, look at this. You can get these, you can go to Skip the Dishes, get all these vegan options. You can go to the store, get all these vegan options. You can pay for anything you want vegan. You can just replace it. It's so easy for people because everyone's buying stuff anyways,
And that's it. And I've always said, when I've talked to people, it's changed again. I'm 5 years vegan now. And one of the most common arguments against being vegan was it's not convenient. It's too inconvenient to try and get vegan food. Now that can't be said now because of this. Yeah. Like you said, I love my sausages. There's about 6 different types in one supermarket at the moment. I love my burgers. There's hundreds of different types of burgers, milks. It's just the list goes on. There's even vegan eggs now with yolk and shells. Mm-hmm. I've just seen something along the line. It's just like it's all there. Yeah. When I was, sorry, mate. I like my middle finger every now and again.
When I was a little kid, we were raised like plant-based. My mom always said we were vegan, but we were never ethically vegan, and it was kind of a flexible situation. She wasn't in it for animals or anything like that. But she would call us vegan because it was just the easiest label she'd give us. And I remember some of the food, and it was not very good, if I do say so myself. We had this Chinese soy milk. It was like in this big, jug, and it didn't taste sweet. It didn't taste good. It tasted like soybeans mixed with water.
I could imagine.
And we had, I remember the first time trying like cheese, like vegan cheese, and it was this dry brick of salty madness. And when you're a kid, you'll eat it anyways because you're a kid. So whatever.
Because you're hungry.
There were very few options and stuff. And now that I'm in, 2020 and I'm actually vegan, I've been vegan for 5 years too. So high five on that one.
Yeah.
But
how old are you? Can I ask you what you are? What age bracket are you in?
I just turned 21.
21.
So yeah, man. Okay. So it's pretty cool. But like, now it's like I can go out, I can go to any store, I can go to any restaurant and get like a ton of vegan options. It's crazy. There's like 4 different kinds of cheeses, hot dogs, whatever I want. So
do you find you've got so do you say you haven't got many vegan friends then? Or
no, actually. I don't really have a lot of vegan friends other than like, YouTube and stuff, like a lot of vegan acquaintances, quote unquote, some people friends, some people not, it's kind of what it is. But in my everyday life, no, nobody I know is actually vegan.
And where do you come from? What area do you actually live in?
I'm in Canada, and it's right. Vancouver, the Vancouver area,
Okay.
Yeah. So it's vegan heaven here. It's like, crazy, but I don't know. I don't know anybody, so maybe I'm just missing them, out on the outskirts, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, does that ag-gag bill, what is it? What bill is it, Aaron? Is it Bill 156? The Toronto bill to stop people interfering with farms and animals and stuff like that. Does that not apply to Vancouver? Is it
I have no clue. To be fair, like I'm not out on the streets doing, activism in that respect. I've considered it. I've definitely considered joining in on protests. I don't see a lot over here. I don't think we have a ton of slaughterhouses and farms like right where I am. So I would kind of go outside of the area. And especially with the coronavirus stuff that's going on, everyone's kind of like, not doing that much, I guess. But I found that the better way to approach this would probably be doing things online because you reach way more people. You don't immediately get stereotyped as some kind of intersectionalist on the street, and it's kind of like a double-edged sword here. You're outreaching to people doing like this this activism. You know, you got your poster, your board up. You're doing a good job. You might not even be talking about anything that people would, you know, immediately be like down with, but you're going to be, in my opinion, automatically stereotyped as somebody who is kind of like an extremist. Whereas if you can give your full explanation online, you give them the visuals, people are like way more willing to listen in on it.
Yeah. I mean, how are you finding your channels working with people? What sort of feedback do you get back from it?
I think my most viewed videos aren't even my vegan content, which is kind of like lame. But, you know, with the John Venus vegan stuff, I was like kind of commenting on that. It was pretty popular. You know, I've gone kind of all over the place. I started off as more doing like anti-social justice warrior stuff, just because there was so much content to make off of it. It's, you know, quick views, whatever, kind of builds up the channel. But I've been really enjoying the vegan content. A lot of people seem to, you know, still like it.
Yeah, I like it. I like watching it. I like the way you present it and everything. Yeah, it's really good, and all the animated stuff. And it is a good idea to stay anonymous, especially at your age, because I think the 16 to 25 age group is still a very sort of random bullying, excluding, backbiting sort of age group, isn't it? And
I guess I'm not worried about getting like bullied or I don't know, called anything really. Nothing really bothers me. I mean, you know, in my generation, we're really soft skinned right now. We're really afraid of everything. You know, we don't want to talk. We don't want to actually like hear people out. Everyone just shuts everyone down. It's very difficult to, and I find it ironic because we're supposed to be one of the most like open to choice and change kind of generations, but I don't know. I don't want to like get in on any of it. I'm just covering up my face so that, you know, say I go outside, I'm not going to get like beaten up because some of the stuff I say sometimes isn't the nicest. So yeah, definitely. Well, listen, it's been great chatting with you. I look forward to more of your content as well. Yeah.
Is there some controversy going on in the chat? What's going on here? Who's been banned? Who's been?
I don't know. Jack Perkins was saying that he had another account or something.
Oh, yeah. There's always why is drama going on? Do you eat the rind of watermelon, etc.?
You can't handle logic.
It defines what's this? It defines if we're actually herbivores. What does? If we can eat undigestible stuff, what are you talking about? Let us know. Come on, Jack.
Come on
the stream.
Yeah, Dan, I'm gonna did you want to talk about my video the other day, mate? We had a disagreement, didn't we?
Ah, right, okay. So yeah, I mean, cooking with Ven, you might want to listen to this. I don't know what your supermarkets are like, but Asda in the UK has actually dedicated. They said an aisle, but in actual fact, it was just one small section of an aisle to start with. And Aaron did a video on it the other day on I'm Easy Vegan, and he's rubbishing it, saying it's like doing no good for the vegan movement. So yeah, go ahead, mate, put your case forward.
So yeah, a lot of people, I mean, I think yourself initially was saying about how I think the aisle itself or the section itself wasn't good as it should be. Like, it was bad, it was small, but that wasn't my case. It can be the longest aisle. It could be 100 meters long. The concept is bad. I don't think it will ever work for many reasons. I think you're segregating kind of vegans even more than they already are. I think that, you know, plant-based alternatives in shops should be next to the animal product alternative. For that reason, you've got, well, one, it's good for the vegans because you know where to go in the shop. You know, you go in the shop. If I want chocolate, I want to go to the chocolate section and I want to find the vegan chocolate or the accidental vegan chocolate or the plant-based chocolate. If I want to find, you know, some type of meat alternative, I will. It's not nice sometimes, obviously, but you know where it is in the shop, you know, or things like that. But for the non-vegans, it's bad because non-vegans they're my market. They're our market as vegan activists. That is who we want to talk to. Yeah, non-vegans. Yeah, we want non-vegans to go vegan. For a non-vegan, and I'm going to be honest. When I wasn't vegan, I was one of them guys. I wasn't interested. You know, if you put a vegan sausage in front of me, a plant-based sausage, so I was just like, oh yeah, that's disgusting. And now I'm not going to go there because it's going to be in this section. you know, the vegan plant-based chocolate is going to be in this section. I just won't go down that section if I wasn't vegan. So, whereas non-vegans, if they are doing their normal shop, they're going to see the plant-based alternatives next to it, and they might have that thing in the back of their mind. You know, they might be watching one of these vegan YouTube channels, thinking, "Oh, actually, yeah, got a bit of some seeds in the back of my mind. Let's try it, pick it up, take it home, and try it." And I think we're segregating that. I think that Asda's making a big mistake. I think Asda, put it this way, whoever made up this kind of idea in Asda, I don't think they're vegan, because I think they're missing out the big trick, and that is accidental vegan products. Accidental vegan is key. You know, I find, and I think we all do as vegans, I think we're always constantly finding new plant-based things. Like, oh my God, I didn't know this was vegan. You know, like I found some chocolate hobnobs the other day and they were accidentally vegan. They don't have vegan on it due to the fact that, you know, may contain this, may contain that, but we know that's still vegan because it's just made in the same factory or whatever. And the thing is, I don't think them items are ever going to be in this vegan aisle. If they are, maybe, but you're still never going to get. For example, if you're vegan, are you going to be able to do your full shop in this aisle? I don't think you are.
I don't think that's the point, though.
I get what you're talking about, but like, okay, I don't know about, you know, I've never been to Asda or anything like that. I've been to like No Frills, Walmart, stuff like that. No Frills is owned by like President's Choice. It's this huge thing. It's like Walmart, but a little bit weird.
I think Asda's a bit like Walmart.
It's a bit like Walmart. It's
a massive shopping centre with everything from electricals to frozen goods to ambient goods to magazines, cards, everything. It's
mostly just a grocery store for us. Like I don't. So what ends up happening is you know, I go in there and they've got an organic aisle. It's not a vegan aisle. It's an organic aisle. They've got stuff for fairly vegan things, but organic stuff. You know, kind of like hippy dippy stuff that I'm never gonna buy because I'm too poor. And then, you know, they've got their vegetables and fruits, which are all vegan. They've got a pasta aisle, which is all vegan. You know, like most pastas are vegan unless you look and they've got egg. Most of the time, it's all a mix, you know, in the store. It's never a case where it's all, you know, one vegan thing over here. You know, all the egg-free stuff goes over here. You know, I can go to the chocolate aisle. There are like 3 kinds of dark chocolate or whatever, even in just the general Walmart aisle. And it's vegan because it's, you know, you check it, dark chocolate, just dark chocolate, nothing fancy, nothing crazy. I mean, like we can argue the, you know, the little bits and pieces of like, you know, sugar and, you know, not being vegan and whatever. But in my opinion, I'd still say it's vegan, especially for somebody who's trying to cut out dairy and animal products. And, you know, the only things that are really that different are they've got a little aisle for like mayonnaise and, you know, refrigerated cheeses and meats and stuff. And I think it's good for people because then, you know, I don't think anyone really cares. I think they're just gonna be like, I like that. That's, you know, the right colors that I like, you know, that's pretty. Oh, this packaging's really cute. People don't think that like deeply into stuff. Yeah. As long as it's there, someone will buy it. Otherwise, they're not going to restock the shelves with it. And, you know, whatever you've got in your store right now, I think it's still good. Most people that are vegan, they're going to be searching out everything. Most people that aren't, you know, vegan, they're going to be looking for like 90% of it vegan anyways, because most of the food that you get at the store is, you know, unless you're obviously on a keto diet or a carnivore diet, a lot of it's already vegan stuff. So all you got to do is just get them to go to that like one little aisle, and instead of buying steak, buy some vegan, you know, sausages or something, you know, or just cut it out in the first place and then replace it with more beans and pasta and stuff. Like I don't know if it's that complicated, but I get what you're talking about because to a degree, yeah, there's a little psychological factor to stores where they're like, oh, that's weird. Oh, that's more expensive. I don't want to buy it. You know, it's, oh, I don't know if I like that. I don't want to pay $5 for it. Mm-hmm. You know, so it depends. It really depends. I think it's just based on the person. I don't think it's, you know, one way or the other. I think it's just a little split in the middle. As long as people are buying it and, you know, the market's there, it'll just keep growing and increasing. And eventually, you know, I'm seeing some stuff actually at stores. You know, they put the Beyond Meat with the meat products. They put
that's what you're saying, Aaron. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. And but you know, at the same time, in the meat aisle now they've got 50% plant-based burgers. They're using plant-based for everything now, and the rest of it's red meat. So it's all just a mix of, you know, garbage.
Definitely. I mean, I've got a view on that. Vegan teacher, have you got anything to say?
He's muted.
Unmute. Hello, vegan teacher. No.
I just think it's all about normalizing it. You know, I mean, we know that there's this huge stigma. There has been, and there's going to be for a lot longer, unfortunately. But you know, there's a stigma about veganism, as we know, for non-vegans. So, what, you know, doing an aisle, I just don't see how it helps. It helps the vegans. It excites the vegans. You know, as a vegan, you're like, oh god, can't wait to see this aisle, see some new.
Yeah,
products.
right. I mean,
I don't get how it is for me.
The thing is, mate, right? I see it like this, right? When they trained in Asda and all the supermarkets, when they train to deal with people, they tell the workers to deal with shoppers differently because they're not absorbed in what's going on around them. We're all got tunnel vision when we're in a supermarket. Some people in a rush, some people take our time, some people take the time to look around and look at stuff. But we're in a daze. We don't know what's going on behind us, around us. We just like looking. And what you're saying is that people will just go around. You just said now you can do your shopping like 10, 15 minutes before shop because you know where to go now. You've got your route mapped out. You go bang, 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 bang. And you're not going to deviate from that. We've got two that vegan teachers. What's going on here? What the hell?
Other thing, just saying, I've got friends with, other kinds of allergies, dairy allergies, egg allergies, nut allergies.
All about athletes.
What the
Did
hell?
you know that there are athletes in the Olympics?
And and some of them, they'll be going to the vegan stuff. They go to the stuff that they already automatically know is, in that kind of dietary pattern, just because it's easier for them and they already know. So I mean, it's not, I think, exclusively vegans, but it really depends what aisle are we talking about. I've got pescatarian friends who will go to the vegan meat aisle and they'll get the vegan meat.
Yeah.
It just depends. And at the end of the day, I don't know how much it's going to matter because everything's kind of, it's just, all based on the business that you're running. It's all based on, plant-based movement. It's huge right now. They're going to be calling everything plant-based. Every aisle I go to, at least I see a little label that says plant-based on something.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, you never see in a supermarket the word vegan. You never see the word vegan. And this is my point, Aaron, is that they've not put the whole range on there. What they've done is put some new products, new vegan products that people might choose to try, like mayonnaises, like mixes, like curry sauces, like alternatives. They've done it opposite the free from range. But it says vegan. And that word doesn't appear anywhere in a supermarket unless it's specifically put there for people to see. And once people see that, they may gravitate towards it. And
yeah. I mean, just one last thing on that. I think it can be good for, say, new people. Let's just picture it. Someone's just finished Challenge 22, yeah. They're a new, excited new vegan, yeah. They've got this whole new plant-based lifestyle, yeah. It would be good for them.
Yeah.
To go to the aisle, still with these exciting new products. But I think a lot of the time it's going to put people off because, as we know, a lot of these items sometimes, unfortunately, are a bit more expensive.
Yeah.
Guarantee most of these products that are expensive, you can get an accidental vegan version half the price, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. But I still think it's a step forward. But listen, everybody's been going on about the UK vegan health twins, like not going up. So breaking news, I've actually got them here.
Yeah, I'm
now.
really.
They're actually here, so I'm just going to add them to the stream now. Hello, vegan twins. Hello?
Oh,
Yeah. We can't hear you. We've got no sound.
Any better? Hello?
Oh, that's better.
Hi there. Hi, everyone.
Hello. Daniela, is this your idea? Daniela, I'm asking you a question.
No, it's not my idea.
I saw there was comments and they wanted twins. So
Grace Lever wanted twins.
so we got twins.
I don't know whether this is going to be an insult to Daniela, but you do look like twins. Cooking with Venom, which one would you go for? The left twin or the right identical twin?
I mean,
Gosh.
in terms of style, I do have to give it to the left.
Thank you.
No.
It was very windy today.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. It's a good look. It's a windblown look. Everyone on L'Oreal shampoo bottles loves it.
And that is. Can I ask you a question though? Why is your mustache different colour from your hair?
It's a secret.
Oh, right, okay. Why don't you dye both? Do you know something? Right.
Because I haven't found a vegan dye yet.
Do you know something? I banned Ben from the stream for being an idiot, and now look, my friends are here and like just trolling me as well. What is it? Troll Dan Day today or something? Is this what's going on?
I think he needs some lipstick, doesn't he, Dan?
Yeah, I think he does.
I did try.
I think I'll start with a shave to start with. Right. So come on, what are your views on this supermarket business? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing? Come on, let me know. What do you reckon? Blondie one first.
Yeah, you go first.
Oh, see, I don't know, because I guess for the non-vegans, if they are looking for something, if they are wanting vegan products, if they're all together, then I guess that makes it easy. If you want to buy like convenience type foods and they're all together, then great. But I don't know. I totally get I'm Easy Vegan's point. I'm kind of on the fence a little bit with it. But then I do agree in a way that some of these products are put in the flesh aisle, because for people who do eat animals, they see that product and it's there and it might give them that chance to try something. Although for me, I don't want to be in that aisle. But I kind of see it from both sides, I think. But I don't know about you.
1 second. The entire chat cannot explain why we are herbivores. Right, we're herbivores for quite a few reasons. First of all, we've got tricolour vision, which allows us to distinguish when fruits are ripe on the trees. Omnivores and carnivores don't have that. We also have we also produce what's that we produce in our saliva?
Amylase.
Yeah. So that breaks down fiber, plant fiber. Okay. We've got a very long intestine, whereas other species have a short intestine. Predators have a short intestine because they basically take what they need from the meat and then they shit it out really quickly to get rid of it before the toxins take hold of the inside the body. Omnivores have claws and sharp teeth. We have grinding teeth. There's lots of reasons why we're herbivores. I mean, Jack, why do you not see lions and tigers and bears having heart attack, strokes? You know,
I think we're gonna a lot of the time we're gonna have arguments about herbivores, opportunistic eaters. What are humans? At the end of the day, I don't know if it really matters that much. I mean, we all know that we're not carnivores, and technically, we'll have the arguments that we're omnivores and stuff skirting around all the time. I think the reality is we should look at, one, what's most ethical, but two, what's causing most disease and death. Heart disease, cholesterol linked with heart disease. Maybe I should lay off the meat. Some of the time it's just you don't even need to worry about arguing whether humans are herbivores or not. You should just, I mean, it's a good little labeling tactic too, because it's all just categories and whatnot to get us kind of mapped in with, what would be the general diet, what is our general consumption. But at the same time, I'm not too sure. I've heard the herbivore argument versus the opportunistic eater argument versus, because we're humans, our diet will be whatever we want it to be. We're just going to say whatever we want. And then, technically, I guess we're also considered frugivores in some people's statements. I mean,
Starchivores, yeah.
It's all over the place. So I don't know if it really matters. I think we need to more just point out the science for the health, point that out, get people to kind of get on the bandwagon of maybe eating less meat, seeing how they feel, and then it goes down and down and down. Get them to convert to being more and more vegan, more and more plant-based. I think it's a lot more effective than arguing terms and, fighting with people about stuff.
I mean, we were talking about this before as well, weren't we? We were saying that things are getting sort of diluted and watered down with the vegan movement, and we do take Jack's just. I mean, Jack, it's a genuine question, mate. I hope we've answered it okay for you. But the thing is, we get sidetracked from the real thing, and it's so easy to get sidetracked to why aren't we herbivores? Well, that's not the point. Why are we killing fucking animals for no reason when we can live happily without meat, without dairy, without eggs? That's what we should be doing. And we don't. We keep getting sidetracked by this same old argument over and over and over.
Yeah, we can survive and thrive without animal products. So why
we do thrive? We do thrive.
Yeah, so why would you choose to be cruel? So let's stop killing, abusing, raping, slaughtering animals.
Do you know what I see though? Like most of the world eat animal products, consume animal products, and a big majority of people end up with heart disease, strokes, and other things. So it kind of speaks for itself, really, in my eyes.
Yeah,
really.
because this is the common. See, this is what I mean. You don't need fucking studies and medical papers and all this stuff. Just use your common sense. And the biggest killers of heart disease and stroke, right? What causes it? Saturated fat and cholesterol. That's it. It's so easy. I don't need to be a scientific genius to do that. You know what I mean? But the thing is we do thrive. I mean, look at me. I'm 97 years old. Look at me. I'm amazing. You know what I mean? I can jump over houses. No, I can't. But I nearly can.
Guys, I'm gonna shoot off, Dan. So Daniel, Adam, and kicking with Venom. Nice to meet you, Venom. So
thanks, dude. Later.
Nice. Thanks a lot for coming on, Aaron. And I look forward to your next video.
Yeah. Cheers. Bye-bye.
I'm going to be doing my cat slippers one pretty soon.
Yeah, sweet, man. All right, take care.
Oh, my God. If anybody wants to jump on the stream, the link is there. We're talking about anything and anything. Let's have a look who's joined the stream while we're here doing nothing. So we've got Bohemian B. Hello, Bohemian B. I expected you to be on anyway. Jack Perkins, of course. Vohan V. Jack Perkins, hello. Any more questions, Jack? Just throw them my way. Michael Askew, yeah. Michelle's just joined. She's late. VegMet Codpod. VegMet Codpod. I can say that fast. Anti-vegan nonsense. Hello. You're late too. Yes. So I've spoken to David Ryan. When you see the death, it's hard. I grew up on a farm. Oh, hang on, let's have a look what this is. When you see the death, it's hard. I grew up on a farm and my family still have cows. He loves them, but should have been a zookeeper. He can't go to the mart, but will eat flesh. Right. So, yeah, when you see the death, it is hard. So I'm assuming, David, that you're vegan now then, but you live on a farm, or you used to live on a farm? Should have been a zookeeper. You can't. Oh, you'll have to write that out again.
Yeah, I'm understanding. I find that hard to understand.
Majority of the world is plant-based, though. No, the majority of the world isn't plant-based.
I mean, I get the argument that like say 75% of most people's diets is made up of plant-based food, but that doesn't definitively when we apply plant-based, we're using it in the context of a 100% plant-based diet that usually excludes things like animal products, and that's about it. I mean, with the plant-based diet, it doesn't really concern other kinds of cruelties. But when we're referring to plant-based, we apply it as in that is the entirety of your diet. It's not some of because we can generalize and we can say, oh yeah, 99% of the world's population, they all technically have a plant-based diet because it's 75% plant-based for almost all of them. So I get what you're saying, but it's not usually the same kinds of criteria that we're applying. So we're kind of mixing up criteria here.
Yeah, definitely. It's gluttony. It is pure gluttony, because in the UK in the medieval period, the commoners, my ancestors, we would have been eating turnips and all this. We wouldn't have had meat. It was all the upper echelons, the upper classes that ate meat. And as time went by, we've sort of wanted to emulate the upper classes. So we've adopted more meat into the diet and eating it more. And it's a sign of wealth. Meat has always been a sign of wealth through the last few hundred years, but now it's come to a head where that we've learned how to mass produce animals and mass produce meat that it's got so cheap.
Yeah, it's gotten cheap because of the government subsidies and most of
Government
most
subsidies.
of the time,
Yeah, I mean,
but I'm not saying that like that inherent, like I'm not saying government subsidies and whatnot are immediately evil and and everything. Because I mean, we're trying to run an entire population of people, millions of people, really somewhat difficult to do. There's a little bit of pressure there, but I do think that it's kind of interesting how we always prop meat up on a pedestal. We always prop all these animal products up on a pedestal. We always think like, oh yeah, these are the sustaining elements of society. We need this, otherwise we're all going to become like weak little vegetable people. But
that's marketing though.
But it's kind of funny because still most of our calories do come from grains and carbohydrates still. Even if we're a general person who's eating meat and dairy and whatnot, most of our calories are carbs. And that's generally what's healthiest for us. I'm not saying an exclusively, no fat, no protein diet, but whatever. It's most of the time it's something else.
Vegan King, who lives in India, says that meat is still extremely expensive here in India, and yeah, I can imagine it is. It's. I mean, India is sort of. You wouldn't say it was a first world country, but you wouldn't say it was a third world country. I think it's a mixture of both. India. And it's the next step. It's the next step. It's when you see your population get very, very sick. Vegan King is when meat does become cheap and all the fast food outlets appear on every street corner. And I mean, when I was a kid growing up, the only fast food outlet we had was a chip shop. Now chips aren't that unhealthy. Fish isn't that unhealthy. I say that with trepidation. I know people are going to screw me for it, but it's not as unhealthy as a big juicy steak or a pint of milk or a 6-egg omelette or whatever. But that's all we had. And we didn't see any fat kids, right? Obese kids it was one in a school maybe, and they got abused to hell, bullied off everybody. And then as time's gone on, because sweets were cheaper then, people blamed it on sugar, and it wasn't sugar because we could get more sweets for our buck in those days. Mm-hmm. But when kids started getting fatter is when McDonald's, Burger King started appearing on the street corners. Chicken shops started appearing on the corners. That is a new thing to me. I've watched that happen. And now it's like every other shop is a fast food outlet. I'm sure they're laundering money half of these guys because they cannot be making money, surely. But then you think about it. I mean, God, you can go and buy pieces of chicken for less than £1 now. It's just fat makes you fat. And that's it. And people are just gorging on it everywhere. It's just so easy to get hold of.
I think it's kind of interesting actually, because when I was a kid, and I'm not even that old, when I was a kid in the early 2000s, I never really even saw severely morbidly obese people often. Like it wasn't even in my age group. There were like a couple of chubby kids when I was growing up, and that was about it. And when I'm saying chubby, I don't mean they couldn't walk. I mean they were, just chubby kids. I was a chubby kid when I was little, but you kind of grow out of it. It's kind of normal, whatever. But now I'm seeing like all, so many of my friends overweight, and they're not even doing anything crazy. A lot of them are active. It's just their diets are terrible. And I think it is part of the convenience of being young, especially. I mean, like, let's just be honest here. After that kind of like little hump into your 30s, you start recognizing, oh, I should probably try and be healthier. I'm feeling like trash.
I mean, Daniela, I hope you don't mind me mentioning, but you got to a point where you were obese, very obese.
Very.
And what did you think caused that obesity? What was it that was it bottles of Coca-Cola? Was it sugar, sweet things, donuts?
No, I didn't really have Coca-Cola. I would have always had diets, but for me, it was dairy. Being a vegetarian, I ate pizzas and stuff like that, really. And when you cut that out, and it's taken me years to get to a whole food plant-based diet, but when you cut all that out, you can keep your weight the same. and you can be in a healthy weight bracket. But when you're eating constant dairy products and, meals, fast food meals, then your weight does increase. Mine always did. And it's funny because we get hassle, as you know, for raising Jack vegan, yet he doesn't have foods like that. He's healthy. He's always at his weight and his height, actually always goes beyond it, but he doesn't eat fast foods, and occasionally we'll have something, but he eats a healthy diet. And I do see children of Jack's age who are overweight, and it's really sad. It really is.
Gluttony is an easy mistake to make when you've got so many new things to try out and calories to top up. People see a plate full of leaves, big in volume, and think you eat a lot. Yeah. Well, the thing is, mate, I was doing some comparisons, and I was looking at like how many calories were in a few rashers of bacon and a couple of sausages, and I realised that I could actually eat or attempt to eat a pound, right? Not a pound, a kilo of sweet potato, and I would still not get anywhere near the amount of calories in 3 slices of bacon and a couple of sausages.
Yeah,
it's
that's crazy.
Once you start eating whole food it's the only diet where you can satiate yourself and still not have enough calories to put weight on. I'm gonna literally pour protein shakes and try and force myself to eat to put weight on with my bodybuilding. It is tough, but I mean, when you talk to me, I always talk to people in the gyms. I see a lot of fat people in the gyms, and sometimes in the changing room, I'll go over because I've seen them sweating on the treadmill, and I'll say, if I could tell you a diet that you can eat as much as you want and you would guarantee to lose weight over 12 months, what would you say? And he said, give it to me. And I made a mistake. I said vegan. And as soon as I said vegan, and I shouldn't have said vegan, I should have said whole food plant-based diet, but I was a little uneducated at the time. But that sort of activism is how we need to speak to people, is to let them know that there is this way of eating out there that is optimal and that will allow them. I mean, come on, all this fat club and all this, where you go and you've got this big overweight woman bouncing around on a stage, and
I used to do that,
and taking money off people, and all they're doing is giving them quick fix. It's like the keto diet. You will drop weight quickly, but that's it. And as soon as you start eating normally again, your body thinks, I've been into starvation mode, I will layer some extra fat on as well as the fat that I've lost, just in case it happens again. I think it's called famine mode or something like that.
I think there's something we do need to focus on here, because this is going to be probably one of the big little hurdles for the vegan community, because I've already had to deal with a ton of it, and it's a very common thing, and that's the eating disorder recovery community. I'm never going to try and discourage people from recovering from eating disorders, no matter how they do it, because they are life-threatening illnesses, and obviously I'm not trying to disrespect anyone who's, in that state, because I've been there, and it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare to try and build out of an eating disorder of any kind. But when it comes to this kind of thing, you're going to hear a lot of people that say, any restriction whatsoever, even if it's of extremely harmful foods, not just unhealthy foods, but foods that cause the death and suffering of hundreds of thousands of animals, you're going to hear people say that's food, and therefore you can't restrict it in recovery. And to that, I think we're going to have to come up with some better, arguments, some better ways to talk to people, because I think I've kind of recognized this. People in recovery are incredibly fragile-minded, and it doesn't even take you being mean to them for them to snap and freak out. And I'm not here to belittle anyone when I say that. It's just part of being in such a high stress state. The hormones, they're going crazy. You're trying to recover. You're really stressed. You've got so much on your plate, and it really does build people to have this like tunnel vision where it's like, that's bad, that's restriction, that's terrible. You go to therapy, that's like, I'm not discouraging therapy, but that's the kind of stuff they kind of teach you to, it's kind of easy to condition into someone to freak out about, like, oh, that's restriction. Oh, me not eating dairy is restriction. Me not, and instead of it just being a case where you have the alternatives, which is actually quite welcome in a lot of recovery units, people will still look at it like it's some kind of restriction.
I mean, I mean, that's why I got so annoyed with Tommy Kelly yesterday on Michelle's stream. I don't know whether you've gone through the chat, Michelle, but I just trolled Tommy Kelly because he's getting on my fucking tits now because he's an absolute idiot. And
Tofu Tommy? That dude?
Tofu Tommy.
Yeah. I heard, I remember when I was like, a few years ago, I was like scouring around looking for like, recovery videos or whatever, to try and like build a nice little, playlist for people. And I saw his videos and I was like, this guy doesn't look very well still. I was kind of concerned because he was still incredibly thin. And at the time he was vegan. And I was like, that was a theme I was noticing. It was like, there's a lot of these really skinny people who claim to be vegan in recovery, and they seem to not be eating very much. It's very concerning. I think that's like a big thing, though. It's a lot of people who go vegan, they try to restrict and restrict and restrict still.
Yeah.
I mean, and then they get a deficiency and they wonder why.
And then he says, well, my nutritionist, my dietetic expert, or whatever it was, said I must go on animal products, and that's just from misinformation on their behalf, because that's how we treat it. This is how we treat malnourished kids in starving countries. Is we give them something, we give them whey, we give them anything that is high calorie and low density, because
I remember
a lot of food.
I remember there was a very short period of time in high school where I worked for a charity organization, because there's that little charity thing you do every year or whatever. And the things we were giving them is we were developing these packets of literal peanut butter that was whey and sugar. It was peanut butter, whey powder, sugar. It was
haven't they called it something? Hasn't it got a name? It's called.
It's got some kind of name. I don't know if it's like a trademarked name or if it's like that's just what different companies would call it. But it was the cheapest stuff you could produce.
Yeah.
Super easy. Gave them a ton of calories. Very short amount of time. Very small amount of food. It was like supposed to be the easiest thing you can pack and travel with and get across planes and whatever. So
were you restrictive or were you overeating?
Like with my eating disorder? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, I had like severe anorexia for a while.
Anorexia. So you were in the same position as Tommy was. So.
Yeah, I was in his shoes, and in fact, like when I went vegan, it didn't get better. Like I had to do the work myself. Going on some kind of diet doesn't change it. I was all over the spectrum with my eating problems. It was anything you can imagine. I probably did it.
So you didn't need eggs, dairy, or meat to recover then?
Oh no, I'm pretty good right now. I've been vegan for 5 years, and I was anorexic like a few years ago still. So I mean,
Tommy says that there's magic ingredients in meat, dairy, and eggs that's suddenly making better.
Oh, it must be those casomorphines. They really help dope you up for the.
Yeah. Because I'm going to try and find these as well. Daniela, how did you lose the weight, Danny? When you were at the other side of the spectrum, what did you do? Were you vegan at the time, or?
I've yo-yoed for a long time. I've done Slimming World, then put it all back on, then done Slimming World. That I have never been able to maintain my weight. That's the problem. Up until I have become vegan and whole food plant-based. I mean, the last few weeks I've been eating a lot more processed foods, but I've just enjoyed it. But I keep my weight about the same now, whereas before I would always put it back on because I would always get back into like eating a bit more of the junk, and I don't have a lot of oil either now. So it is pretty much what I eat.
Yeah.
You go for you opt for the whole food plant-based.
Yeah, whereas you have
100% of the time.
Because I'm a very fast metabolism. I've always had a very, very fast metabolism.
I haven't, no.
Very, very fast. I was eating sugar and donuts for breakfast, and at brunch, and then dinner, then afternoon snack, then Mars bars, then tea, then supper, and I'd never put the weight on. Whether that's my genetics, probably is, I don't know. But your body's very clever, and and I think there's problems with some people that there's a lot of links with the microbiome now, saying that it's very much linked to the brain, and this shut off chemical that it normally does when your stomach gets to a certain point doesn't work with some people, but that's down to this problems with the microbiome. There's a lot of science going on at the moment about this.
It's the sympathetic nervous system. All that
stuff. Vegan King is asking like questions. Should we answer more questions or?
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the questions.
I'm not. It's if you should stay anonymous as a vegan activist is what I saw.
Right. Okay. Let's have a look at this.
So,
do you think it's better to stay anonymous as a vegan activist? Because I haven't revealed myself yet, and I'm confused if I should or not.
I mean, it's in my opinion, it depends on like what your content is. There are a lot of very controversial figures that keep their faces, disclosed for very, obvious reasons. But if you're just talking about like health food and, vegan things, you usually can get away with pretty much having your face exposed. You're not going to become immediately a target. But on top of that, if you're going to do it, the number one thing I should recommend is that you know what you're getting into. And once you put your face on the internet, there's no going back. So you just, give it some considerable thought. And then if you want to, that's your choice. It depends.
Yeah.
It's kind of just up to you. It's based on your circumstances. It's based on everything.
I would say to that, as someone who went into the YouTube community without setting everything private, if you're going to reveal your face, just be aware of who is out there, because we did get chosen very carefully, cherry picked by the anti-vegan, community.
On Instagram, and we got.
And they stole all my photos because it wasn't set to private, because I never saw it come in, and it's been a learning curve for us. So if you want to remain anonymous, then if you can do your activism, and I know you do, Vegan King, very well, then I would say don't reveal your face unless you really want to.
One thing you also have to be considerate of is if you're doing a job, sometimes the YouTube stuff will mess that job up. They'll not hire you for, depending on what you're in on. With veganism, a lot of people still view it as a very cultish outlook. So I don't think it's a good idea if you're trying to get any kind of job anywhere, unless you're like self-employed and maybe veganism is part of your job. I don't know if it's a good idea. Like I personally wouldn't, because if you're trying to sell certain products, even if you're like, maybe you're making a video game and then people see that you're vegan, they're not going to probably want to buy the game, even if it's a good game.
Yeah, exactly. And I've got to consider my acting career. I'm very lucky in that the entertainment industry is very sort of every set I've ever been on, there's always been plenty of vegan options out there. Always 2 or 3 vegan options at the cafeterias. And but again, when I did Veganville, I was very worried about how I came across, because if I came across as a total fucking dick, which I could quite easily have done, it could have harmed my acting career. So it was a bit of a gamble. So you have got to be careful when you're working and what sort of work you go in. We've got another person jumping on here. Vegan Pixie Warrior.
Hi, Beans.
Hello there. Hello, Beans.
How you doing?
So you've joined us.
Yeah, I've had a couple of rums, so I'm, loosened up.
Okay, so you're a bit looser now, are you? You're loosened up a little bit. Loose lips sink ships, they say.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. I'm going to sync my YouTube channel with my following work.
You're a little bit quiet. I don't know whether you want to come a bit closer to the mic.
Oh, is that better?
That's a little bit better, yeah.
Okay, I'll just speak loudly.
Yeah, that's not hard for you.
Yeah, that's true. That's not hard for me. So I just wanted to come on about showing your face as a vegan activist. If you don't, I get why people want to hide their faces and be anonymous in the activist movement, but I think it's really important, because to me, if you're hiding your face, it's like, well, you're kind of saying that it's wrong to be part of the animal rights movement and be an activist. Hi, beautiful, you look gorgeous with that wig on. I've never seen you look better. Never.
I can agree to a degree that, yeah, maybe even if it makes you look like a huge, coward. But I mean, what would you rather be? I mean, I can agree to, in a sense. It depends, though. Like, if you would rather be a coward online or in real life not be able to get the job that you want because of your the fact that you've got big cojones online. I mean, I would take the fact that I would just be a coward. Now, again, I think it depends, though. Like, it depends on what you're even doing. If you're like a vegan channel and you're talking about recipes, a lot of people are not going to care if you're, online with your face. I mean, there are tons of cooking shows on YouTube. A lot of people can still get jobs and everything like that. But if you're talking about controversial things, especially ethics, you should just, you just got to mull it over, consider the variables, and maybe look into it. Maybe check out, I know this might be anecdotal evidence, but maybe check out a few people that might have had a lot of issues, not even just in the vegan community, but having YouTube channels trying to get into jobs.
You see, I'll give you a good example of that, Pixie, right? Do you remember that vegan kid from Colombia?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
He's disappeared. His YouTube channel's gone. His Instagram's gone. I've tried messaging him on WhatsApp. I got 2 blue ticks, but no reply. What has happened to that kid? And he showed his face. And, of course, Colombia is a big, big meat-producing country.
Yeah, I've got a friend who I'm hopefully going to be interviewing soon who used to be a hunter, and he was in Colombia doing activism.
Did you just plug your channel then?
Yeah, probably a little bit. I'm just saying, he's an activist, and he went from a hunter to an activist, but he did some work in Colombia. So I know that again, it is depend on the circumstances. Like, my husband doesn't want to get involved in activism because of his job, and I can't go into what it is, but he had to declare that I was an animal rights activist for his job. He had to be honest about it. But I also think that, and with what Vegan King said earlier about getting abuse, I've had more abuse from vegans about being an animal rights activist than I've had from non-vegans. So when I organised the Animal Rights March in Bristol last year, I got called all sorts of names by vegans. And it's like, I'm not doing it for me, I'm doing it for the animals, and I'm also doing it for the community of vegans so that they've got something to do. They've got a way to shout out. And I think to inspire people, going back to Joey, I wasn't a massive fan of Joey when he first started out. I love him now. I think he's found a really good level, and I think the difference with Joey Carbstrong now is he's listening, and I don't think he listened to people before, and that's the major difference. But he's inspired so many people to get active. Would he have done that if he hadn't have shown his face?
Well, it's a little, I would agree, but it's a little, I think, different. Say you're, talking to people on the streets, you kind of, I wouldn't say you have to show people your face, but I'd say it's more likely that you're going to. And also, when did Joey Carbstrong start his channel? Like at least a few years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, things are a little different now than they were a few years ago. It's not excessively even, but little things change. People recognize, oh, I can't keep doing my job at, this company and keep having my YouTube channel. It's causing problems. Joey's entire life is being an activist, I think. Now, I could be incorrect, but his entire life.
I mean, let me just interject here. Right, this is an example, right, of what happens to people when we put ourselves out there, right? Tristan last night, he didn't accuse me of homophobia. He accused me of transphobia.
Who's Tristan, by the way? I don't know.
He's Primal Edge Vegan. Have a look at his channel.
Primal Edge Health or
Primal Edge Health? Yeah, Primal Edge
Health.
That
dude.
Yeah, he's an idiot. He's another one. He doesn't like being called Baldy for some reason. So nobody called Primal Edge Baldy. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it, the fact that he's premature baldy, because of his carnivore diet. That's why he's going bald. 45 years. But this is what I mean.
But if you did that with hiding your face, you still would have said, he still would have attacked you if you hadn't.
No. But what I'm saying is that it's very hard for people to. It's a scary place out there now, unless you've got a tough skin. I mean, Daniela, when she first got attacked, right, she was in bits.
Yeah.
And I rung her up and spoke to her, and it put her in bits. And I said, look, Daniela, I'm sorry, but the minute you put yourself out there, you're under scrutiny, and you're going to get this, right? If she'd have been anonymous, this wouldn't have happened. See what I mean? If she hadn't had a supporting people around her,
yeah, I do get that, and I am still waiting. I mean, at the moment, I'm still tiny when it comes to like numbers and stuff, and I know it's going to happen.
That doesn't matter.
I'm not super sure as to why you were labeled transphobic or whatever, but Primal Edge Health, like I think he's I don't know about all this stuff. I know he's into like Christianity or Catholicism. I'm not sure exactly which. My apologies.
Yeah, he believes in sky wizards and shit. Yeah.
I'm not gonna like belittle him for his own beliefs, but it does add a little bit of a bias in respects to his viewpoint of humans having dominion over animals, and beliefs on certain viewpoints on the new like social justice movements that are out, and now that's his decision. But I think that transphobia right now, that's the new racist. That's the new thing that they're going to point the gun at you first with. And let's just be honest with each other. Nobody's afraid of trans people. At worst, being confused is the likely go ahead. I'm in Canada right now. You can actually get into trouble for misgendering people. You can actually, I believe, get charged. As I don't know if it's exactly a hate crime. It's all over the place. It depends on really the circumstances if you do it with intent or not. But it's again, it's just a new confusing term. People don't get what's going on with it. It's it's people's choices to either educate themselves or lose friends. That's about it. I don't think we should be turning that's like the new thing right now, though. It's definitely transphobia being the new like you're evil if you misunderstand anything about this specific movement.
Yeah, no, and I get that as well. I've got a trans nephew, and he's amazing since he's come out. He's completely different, and I'm really proud of him. And I hate all this transphobia thing, but you're right, it is the new racism. But what Michelle just put up, I 100% agree, Michelle. Like, my job know that I'm an animal rights activist. I've been honest with them, and I've told them, and I'm not going to hide it from them. The fact that my husband has to declare it to his work, my job's not that important. It's not my dream job or anything, and I don't have a great education, so that's not something. When I was a kid, I wanted to design puppets for like Jim Henson. That's what I wanted to do as a kid. That's not going to happen. I'm 44 in a month, and I don't care about my job. At the end of the day, I care about the animals. That's
44. You're just a fucking kid. Fuck's sake.
I know. I'm only 10 years younger than you.
I am not 54. I'm 53 at the moment. Thank you very much. Don't add any more on.
I don't know whether I should believe you or not. You did say earlier that you were 97. So
yeah, I do exaggerate. It's the Alzheimer's you see through eating too much food that causes that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, Michelle. I don't care really, and I suffer with anxiety. Like Grumpy was saying on his channel last night, in this video, the video that went out today, this morning.
Yeah.
And I did a coaching program in lockdown to manage that, because I wanted to do a YouTube channel. I wanted to try and help people become active. That's what I wanted to do.
Because I didn't know what anxiety was. I have no idea what anxiety was.
I think a lot of vegans suffer with anxiety, and I think mine had got worse with my activism, because of all the torture and horrors that you see when you're doing vigils or watching footage and talking to people about it over and over. It eats away at you. 100%.
I'm not trying to belittle anyone when I say this or anything like that, but personally, from what I've experienced, I think that it really depends on a physical state when you have anxiety or depression. Like, at least when I was suffering with, a rather, crappy eating disorder, I always had anxiety. I always had depression. And a lot of people I know, they were put on Adderall as a child. That not trying to add any controversy in there, but they were diagnosed with ADHD when they didn't actually have it. They were put on Adderall, and they started losing it a little bit. Like, I have a lot of friends who've been always told, oh, you've got anxiety, you've got depression, you've got anxiety, you've got depression. You'll need to go to therapy for the rest of your life. You're gonna need to be medicated for this, that, and the other. And I think that it's fine. There are people with severe anxiety and depression, and obviously they should seek whatever therapies they feel they need to take. But I feel like we should definitely be a little bit more open-ended when we say that you've got anxiety and depression. They're very common human feelings. I don't really know anyone who hasn't experienced it.
Yeah.
I mean, be a little bit more, open-armed about how, hey, you're feeling this way. It's fine. It's a part of life. This is part of the human experience.
Yeah.
Not with everyone. I know there are outliers out there, but I think it's very interesting.
I think what you're saying, a lot of people do tend to go jump on the depression and anxiety, bandwagon too quickly. But I know the fact that I walk into a supermarket and I would have a panic attack to the point that I thought I was having a heart attack, and I was sweating and I couldn't talk, and I'd just be constantly tapping my head or my hand and look like I was losing it. that's an anxiety attack when you cannot breathe.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I get what you're talking about. Do you find that it's the veganism that has perpetuated that within you of when you go into the market, or is it just a general experience?
Years. I got diagnosed with depression when I was 20. I got put on tablets, and I came off those tablets because I didn't want to rely on them. I've always managed my own, like my depression, and I've had anxiety for years. When I went vegan, when I was doing my street activism, I was really worried about it. But for some reason, when I was doing my street activism, it didn't manifest. I think it's because I wasn't doing it for myself, I'm doing it for the animals, and that helped me. But I still had periods where we would go out for friends that we've had for 20 years, and I'd have a panic attack, and I can't go. I'd fake a headache and not go out with my friends that I've known for 20 odd years and went to university with, and like I couldn't go out with them. I couldn't do it, but I could go out.
It's crazy as well, because like I've never suffered with anything like this previous in my life. I mean, what triggered it with me happened 5 years ago. I think a number of things. An ex-girlfriend of mine got stabbed to death, murdered, and then this cop thing happened, and then I think it was a bunch of things that happened, but I didn't realise the effects it was having on me. And then I sort of dawned on me that I had no urge to go out anymore. I was just sat there staring out the window. I was just sat on my phone. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't shaving. I wasn't having a shower. I just sort of dawned on me, that I was just like I didn't care about anything. And it's the first time I've ever experienced it. So I can't imagine what it's like being so young and to suffer with that, because I was full of optimism when I was young. I've always been a happy person, positive person. Lots of shit happened to me, but it was like just washed over me. I didn't give a fuck. I was just wild and I suppose the drugs helped to mask it a little bit, and the beer and everything else that I was getting up to, because I was like in my prime when all the illegal warehouse raves were going on and people were necking ecstasy like it was like, you know what I mean? It's just.
I was probably in a warehouse with you once then, back in the 90s.
I was the older guy then, dancing around with his shirt off with fucking eyes like saucers.
I was the young girl with the tube top with saying Greenpeace on it.
I would have kept away from you, you fucking weirdo.
But I don't know. My coaching has definitely helped. Like I've totally become I was in the Chinese supermarket the other day and I was fine, and that never happened. So I've definitely got a handle of it. But I don't know if the veganism made it worse. I mean, I think the veganism made it worse in a way that eating out with friends and family when they were eating animals. What's that?
Very nice. Oh, don't worry, you fixed it. Vegan. You were vegan for like a little while. Now you're not vegan. And you go bald.
Yeah, you do realize that. I mean, you just gonna end up on Shar's channel.
It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, I want my time.
Cold sucker's gonna be right all over you. I tell you.
I suffered with depression for a little while. It was about a year. I didn't really realise that I was suffering with it neither, and the veganism really helped me come off my tablets and realigned everything within me, because it gave me something like to do. It gave me like focus and drive to do something.
Yeah.
And
it's that thought that you're doing good.
Cat's just knocked over the bloody light.
It's the thought that you're doing something good as well, and doing something productive and doing something positive.
Yeah.
And you meet good people. That's the key thing as well. When you can meet like-minded people who are compassionate and have the same beliefs as you, it opens up. And that's where I sort of start getting religion to a point. That's where I sort of think, well, religion is good for the community side of it. The old brainwashing from birth thing, I don't agree with. I mean, there's like 99,000 different gods out there, and why do you pick the one that your parents have? That's a bit weird to me. It's like, because you've been brainwashed into it, But I see the community aspect of religion and how that works, and I get it. That's the only bit of religion I do get. But veganism does open up doors to like-minded people, and I suppose that is therapeutic to be able to talk to like-minded people.
Yeah,
I think it's interesting actually, because we have this kind of kind of community that's somewhat intersectionalist, you know, it kind of falls in all wakes of everything. And I think it's fine. Pardon me. I think that it's fine to be intersectionalist and vegan, but I don't think we should coin veganism as intersectionalist.
What do you call intersectionalist, though? What do you call how do you describe intersectionalism with veganism?
Well, I think that what we tend to do is say you've got somebody who is maybe a trans activist, LGBTQ+, and they fall into all these other kinds of wakes, and they also tend to be vegan. I think all of those things deserve their own dedication. I don't think we should be mixing them all together, which is what intersectionalism tends to do. Tends to put it all together into one movement, kind of waters everything down at once while making it an amalgamation of all the same things. And I think it ruins veganism. I think it ruins any other kind of movement that you mix in there. I think it completely belittles everyone on every end of the spectrum, no matter what the circumstances be. And I think it makes it incredibly unlikely that anyone would want to go and join veganism at that point, just given that it's going to make it harder for people to recognize this is about the animals. No, wait, guys, it's about actually racism, homophobia, misogyny, trans rights, LGBTQ+ issues. Children are starving in Africa. Like, you have to be vegan and join in on all these things. That's like the inherent viewpoint. It's very difficult for people.
I agree with you totally on that.
Yeah, it's so rough. And like, again, you can be a vegan and also be in all of these other movements and be an intersectionalist. But I think that you shouldn't promote it as veganism, because it's not. It's not vegan. It's a different element of life. Like, these are all different perspectives. When we throw it all into one, it confuses people. It makes them go like, oh God, I could never be vegan. This is insane. There's so much here. I have to have such a specific mindset.
I 100% agree with you, like, Cooking with Venom. Like, this is my problem with intersectionals, is they will refuse, like, some of them refused to go to the Animal Rights March in Bristol last year because they thought that there was a racist there or a fascist, but they'll go to a Black Lives Matter march, or they'll go to a feminism march and stand next to someone who abuses animals.
Exactly.
They're contradicting themselves. They just, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I am intersectionist when it comes to humans, but not when it comes to animals. It's not, you know, it doesn't fit with them. They need the animals, non-human animals deserve their own fight and their own justice.
Yeah, exactly. And this is why we should all use our particular talents to push the vegan message. I mean, I use my acting talents and my character talents in ways that can't be named right now, unfortunately. It will be in the near future, but I've used my talents in a way that has helped me infiltrate certain places. And the vegan family are using the family life, the knowledge on bringing up vegan children. We've all got our own little talents, and we should be using those talents. I mean, I don't know what yours is, Pixie. I think is it fighting? Is it Pixie Warrior Fighting? But we've got. I mean, Cooking with Venom you use like your YouTube channel. You explain things really well, entertaining. We've all got our talents, and that's what we should be using. We shouldn't be addressing other things. I mean, I saw a post on a Facebook post saying, "Why did you go vegan?" And the amount of, because I felt better for health, for the environmental reasons. The minute I put up a post saying, "Well, you're not vegan, then you only went vegan to stop animal abuse," I was like a pariah. I was waiting for people to come outside my house with torches and pickaxes and forks and everything. You know, it's like, we need to keep this message on point. Yes, it does have positive effects on the environment. Yes, it does have positive effects on your health if you do it right. But when it comes down to it, it's about animal rights.
But you can be a vegan that does a shit job for the environment, like driving, flying cars, not recycling, all of those things. So you can be a vegan that does all of those things, so you're having a shit effect on the environment. You can also, what was that vegan that stopped being vegan this year or last year? I forgot his name. He just ate junk food all the time and then got sick. And it's like, you can also be an unhealthy vegan.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I mean, I'm still addicted to nicotine, you know what I mean? I still like a drink every now and again. Not as much as you, Pixie, but, you know, I'm saying nothing. I'm just looking. I'm just looking.
I'm just looking.
I'm saying nothing. I'm saying nothing. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you drinking a drink, and I'm thinking, that's veganism. Veganism made her alcoholic. You hear what I'm saying? Veganism made you an alcoholic.
Since I met you, I've become an alcoholic.
I like to lick toes. I like to suck toes. Give me some money, I'll suck your toes. Super chat. I'll suck toes. No. Oh, by the way, people, super chats are enabled now. So if you want to send me some dosh, send it now.
Don't bother.
Hey, how do we do that then?
It wasn't It wasn't Jacko Wacko. It was.
Yeah,
it was Michael Jackson.
Michelle, you're right. It was Jacko Wacko. So he became an ex-vegan.
I thought she was on about my impression. Then I thought was that supposed to be Michael Jackson? Then?
No, the guy. He just ate junk food all the time. He ate processed food and junk food all the time. Like, I wish I was as good as Daniela and did a whole food plant-based diet.
Not 100%.
Pardon?
Not 100% all the time.
We're probably 60% whole foods, 40% junk.
I think that's why we also really need to not focus on. I mean, we can promote that veganism can be healthy. That's great. But I think we definitely need to bring it always back to the animals. Like we can argue health and environmentalism all day. Those are the two variables that people will argue with until the cows come home or until they're sent to slaughter, whichever one happens first. But, like we can argue about whether, the environment's falling apart, whether people are healthier eating meat or eggs or plants or lettuce or tomatoes. People can't argue how the meat gets on their plate. They can't say, oh, no, nothing happens. Nobody dies. We can argue even ethics all day. We can argue the most humane means of slaughter, but we will still have to come back to that argument. Oh, we have to kill animals unnecessarily to get those animals on our plate. So, like every time, it could be a better argument if we just bring it back to ethics. And I think people kind of miss that.
100% agree. And this is the other thing that bugs me about the vegan argument is people go on about the food too much.
Yeah, but
the food's great. I love food. Who doesn't love food?
No, I'm not saying the food's not great. The food is great, but there's the animal testing that goes on, and the leather and the clothing and
I get it.
Yeah, but I mean, come on.
But people really like positives. They really like looking like, oh, I like food that's like this, so I can go.
You've got to start with the food. You've got to. That's the initial starting point.
I mean, it's good either way, though. However somebody starts going vegan, whether it be for animals, for ethics, for food, for the environment, as long as they recognize the main picture as to why veganism is veganism, it's for animal rights, and I'd hope it would be an abolitionist approach, but even if it's just a reduction of animal slaughter and suffering, that's still good in my book. I mean, anything is better than nothing. But bit by bit. Like the more people that recognize it, like, because I went vegan initially because I thought it would be healthy and it would help me recover from anorexia.
Exactly the same as me.
But then I was like, oh my, and then I saw Gary Yourofsky's speech and I was like, oh my God, like I can't eat fish. Like what the hell? I can't murder animals. Like I feel terrible doing it. Like, and it wasn't even just a virtuous thing. Like I know some people really build an ego when they become vegan. They really think they're better than everyone. I was just like, I just don't feel good doing it. I don't want to hurt people and animals. I don't want to do that. That's not nice. It might not be so good for them. Why would I do it when it's not necessary? It doesn't seem to be doing me any good.
Yeah. I mean, I've always said that all roads do lead to the ethics. They always will do, because this distinguishing between plant-based and veganism. Yeah, all right, you're associating plant-based food with veganism and saying it's a diet, and it's not. But once you start thinking that you're vegan, even though you're only plant-based, once you start typing in vegan something, vegan shepherd's pie, vegan this, once that vegan word comes in, then all the ethical videos start popping up, all the ethical, and eventually you've got to click on it, and eventually you go there. And that's the thing about it is we shouldn't discourage people. I see a lot of people say, no, you're not vegan, you're plant-based. Stop saying you're vegan when you're fucking plant-based. But I think leave them.
Like that. I tease my husband telling him he's plant-based.
Yeah.
I don't even like
environment and then animals.
I agree with Michelle.
It's the other way around. And in the environment and health are benefits if you do it right. It's animals, but my husband
personally, like we, you know, like I know that, like I get we all have a set level of priorities that the ethics come first. I at the end of the day, though, as long as they stay vegan, which is why the ethics are so important. I don't care if they are plant-based or they say they're vegan or they want to do it for the health or the environment first. Like, you know, like I want them to stay vegan, which is why the ethics are so important because that's what keeps people to be vegan. But I don't care how they do it. I just want them to do it because then less animals die. That's the go-to, and they're hopefully healthier as a result. I would hope they would choose a healthy plant-based diet, not just a a vegan macaroni and cheese beer diet. Like that's not the best, but
I mean, as soon as you do cut out all animal products from your diet, you are eliminating 90% of animal cruelty. I mean, all right, there is some specific leather, some specific fur, there is some specific products tested on animals, but as soon as you eliminate that food from your plate, you are doing a big thing. You're doing a big favor for the animals. So it should never be discouraged. And I think we should.
And I'm not saying it shouldn't be discouraged.
No, I'm not saying you are saying that. I'm not saying
you are. Focus on other things. Like vivisection is a massive part, and it's completely ignored and left out by a lot of animal rights activists, which is a shame. But yeah, you're right. Like 3 meals a day, we consume in this world more animals than we do anything else, you know. But we still need to address the other factors, I think.
Definitely. Right, well, listen, folks, we're approaching 1 hour 50 of chatting away. We don't want to exhaust everything. I want to do another one of these soon. I know this was pretty ad-lib, and I'm sorry that the girls let us down this week, but I'm sure we'll be able to find another one. But I want to thank everybody who's joined. I want to thank everybody who's come on here and talked to me, especially Venom, UK Vegan Twins, Vegan Pixie Warrior, Ben. Eventually, I might unban you, Ben. I don't know yet. When you decide you want to talk sense to me, I'm Easy Vegan. Thank you very much for coming on and chatting to me. So I'm going to sit back and I might go and uncork that bottle of Woodman whiskey that I've got upstairs now after watching you, Rebecca, munching on. Oh yes, you still got a bit there. Well, listen, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you for your input. I'm sorry if I missed your question.
Thanks, it's been good, dude.
Yeah, and please, guys, watch my video that I uploaded today about walking through Scarborough and seeing the death through. It's like the Matrix. It's like swallowing that red pill and you're walking through and it's not a great viewpoint to go and walk around the world, but you do get used to it and you do compartmentalize it eventually. And you can put it to the back of your mind, but it's always there in front of us. Even the buckets, you know, the fishing buckets with it sold as a toy to rip life out of the ocean. It's a toy bucket with a hook and a line. It's like, what? But listen, thank you so much, everybody. And we'll speak soon. Thank you.
Later, dude.